Hey guys, Andrew with Roo-Akh Worship here. Very excited to be with you today. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and walk through my keys rig that I'm currently using right now to just show you what I'm doing. All right, let's dive in. All right, I am currently running my keys rig through Ableton Live. It's been amazing because I also run tracks through here. I don't know that we'll get to that on this video, but I have everything kind of bussed between keys, pads, arpeggiators, leads, drone, tracks, and some other stuff over here that I'll get into in a little bit. But I run that into a Scarlett 18i20 interface, and I have everything separated currently up to 8 channels. I know that might sound like a lot, but currently I send a stereo channel for pianos. I send a stereo channel for pads and synths, and then depending on where we're at, I'll send a stereo channel 5 and 6. I'll send that whether it's tracks, drones, and then if we're running tracks, channel 7 will be a mono percussion track channel, and then 8 is click and guide. And I've been absolutely loving that separation at the moment, and it gives front of house full control and makes it easier for them to mix. So I've been loving that. If we're not running tracks and we're kind of at a church that has limited channels, I could bring that down to 5, where I'm still sending them separated stereo keys, stereo synths and pads, and then a click line. Worst case scenario, I'll do a mono keys, mono pads, and a click, so 3. But that way, front of house, I try to have my pads separated as much as possible, especially because I'm doing a lot of dynamic playing with filters, and it just gives front of house control, and they love it. So yeah. Awesome. Let's dive into my controller. I am currently using the Novation Launch Control XL. A little bit ago, I was using the Nano Control, and I love that. But I saw a video of a couple guys using this, and I was like, I need to give it a shot. And after one Sunday, I was like, I'm never going back. It's amazing. The amount of knobs on it is phenomenal. And as you can see here, I have everything color coded. So right now, I kind of all the way here is for my pianos and my keys. The orange are for my pads and drones. The pink is for my arpeggiators and my leads, and then blue is for tracks. I have a knob for melodic tracks, a knob for percussive tracks, and then this knob right here, I normally have this over on my left side, but for the video I had to have it here. But this is to open up filters for my pads, and I had that on the end, so I didn't have it in the middle, so because I didn't want to like bump other knobs as I'm opening filters up. And then right below here, these buttons I just have labeled 1 through 6, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It fires, song 1, song 2, and it fires the click tracks and all that. And then these buttons all pertain to my samples that I'll get into in a little bit. Over here, I have a stop, I have a play. This turns off and on click, and then I have this button right here opens up a screen on Ableton. You can see it here for transpose. Yes, I do use transpose because I do not like to play in flat keys. Just like an acoustic guitar player uses a capo, I use transpose because a lot of times I'm music directing, I'm running tracks, I'm playing keys, I'm watching worship leaders. There's a lot going on, and I just want to keep it as easy as possible for me. So yes, I cheat a little bit, but these up here, these buttons go down a half step, up a half step, and then up here, this is scene up and scene down. And then as we move up here, these are labeled. So right up here, this knob controls the click track. And right now I keep the click track at 75%. And the reason I have a knob on it is because when we get into those flow moments, the thing that used to drive me nuts is just this click constantly blaring in your ear. Especially as a keys player, you still want that click in there to kind of flow around in case something, the song vamps again, or we go back to a bridge. That click track, you can kind of count the band in. So I keep it at 75%, and then if we get into those like down moments, I'll bring the click down a little bit, which is really awesome. And a lot of times worship leaders will pull an ear out, band members might pull an ear out, and it keeps the click track coming through their ears from bleeding through their mic and coming through the house. And then I also keep it at 75% in case we have a drummer that gets a little excited and, decides to either rush the click or drag the click. I can, turn it up just another extra little bit to get in their ears on those big parts. But that's the basic layout for my Novation control. And then all these knobs pertain to pads that I'll get into in a little bit. But now let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the samples. All right, so let's go to keys. Keys, I'm using 3 different keys channels. One of them is Noire from Contact. I absolutely love it. That's my main keys. And then down here, Noire has a felt option as well. And it's just whatever standard settings are there. I haven't really touched it. I just have a basic volume knob up here for that I'll bring in during some alter time. And then I'm using soft keys from Spitfire Audio, and absolutely love it. So let's dive into it. So this is Noire with just the colored knob all the way down. It sounds awesome. I love it. And then I have a knob here that opens up the color to make it a little brighter. Can go really bright. Kind of use that for some upbeat songs. And then the other thing that I add to my piano, just Noire, is I add a Valhalla Shimmer. I think I pronounced that right. If I didn't do it right, don't judge me. But Shimmer's just really that's kind of dramatic there. But I usually keep it at, maybe 10, 15%, but just kind of help fill in that space. I think it sounds awesome. Absolutely love the shimmer on it. And that's with no pads. That's just Noire with some shimmer. So yeah, that's Noire. Let's go to Spitfire's. I use their soft keys from Labs, and this is probably my favorite free sample that they have. If you're not using it, it's free. Just go download Spitfire Audio and get Labs and get this sample. It's amazing. Let's take a listen. Has a little bit, like if you really listen, and take your time just to really focus on listening, you'll hear some particle movement, some other stuff going on. It's just a fantastic soft keys. So 9 times out of 10, I'm running Noire and soft together. And this is, just kind of layers really nice. So those are the 2 main keys that I'm using. And then Noire Felt is great because it's the same keys, just with the color all the way down. You can hear the felt on it. Sounds really cool. So a lot of times if there's an altar call moment, I'll have literally all 3 of them in. I'll turn everything down as far as tone knobs and all that, and then I'll bring the felt in. Just kind of flow around. It's really just a great, just add that texture to what's going on in the room. And then the last thing that I have is this octave button. So this basically takes my Noire, that's just, and then we turn the shimmer down. So, and then it makes so it's like playing an octave without needing to play an octave. So that's just a great way just to kind of add some dynamic into it. Think like What a Beautiful Name, the bridge. So that's a great way. I'll throw that in. Or if there's a song that just kind of needs a lift, a lot of times I'll just hit that in, and it just kind of elevates that song to the next level. A lot of times I'll punch it in, coming into, let's say, like the last bridge of Worthy of It All, have the day and night. This is the last time, punch it in. So it just kind of adds that dynamic, and the shimmer just kind of really fills it in. And again, that was no pads. That's just my 2 pianos right there, and I think it sounds fantastic. So let's dive into the pads. So I am currently using four different pads. I think three of them are Omnisphere, and then one of them is an Ableton pad. You can see over here I have them separated. There's three in one bus and one in another. So the three that are in the bus together, those are ones that kind of have filters on them. I have an arpeggiator that I can turn off and on, based off the click track and all that. But those stay there. And then this pad is just like a really nice analog warm pad that I love just having that as a bass. But when I bring that arpeggiated stuff in and the synths start moving, I still like that bass on it. So I just separated it to keep it by itself. There might be an easier way to do that. I just wanted to physically see it there. But these are the two main pads that always stay in and are always constant for me. So they're really nice and warm, as you can hear. So that's what I'm using, and then I do have two more pads from Omnisphere that I'll bring in, and they're fantastic. A couple of them, one of them I made just based off another couple samples, and then one of them, I forget what it is, but it is a sample that Omnisphere is just plug and play pretty much. But when you add all four of them together, that's kind of what it sounds like. And then this right here with the filter, kind of open it up. So as the song starts building, that's where I start using this. And then the arpeggiator. So it's just, again, just more dynamics, and I'm constantly touching that filter and bringing it up, bringing it down. The arpeggiator, I'm bringing it in for those big choruses just to kind of give it a little more rhythmic feel with the drums. But those are my pads. The next knob is my drone tool. So this, when I fire a song, you'll probably hear the click track. There's the click track that comes in. I'll turn that down. But I do have a drone tool. Just really basic drones, nothing crazy on them. I do have a filter on it, so I can bring it down, and I usually leave it right there, but I can also, if the song's really opening up, I can open that pad up, make it a little brighter for like some upbeat stuff. I did add some shimmer or reverb or something on it, but I rarely use that. But again, it's just a nice drone tool that you can use for different stuff like that. So, and you can just kind of, just sounds great over whatever you're playing. So yeah, drone tools, great. Absolutely love using those. And I use those a lot for transitions. So if we're in a song and it's really big, I'll slowly fade the drone out if there's a key change coming up. So that way, as I fire the next click, as I'm fading my samples out, I can actually fade the drone in. And it kind of makes transitions pretty easy. The next thing that I do over here is arpeggiators, and I have an 8th note and a 16th note. So the 8th note I'll use for like some upbeat stuff, but the 16th note is, again, I went to Omnisphere, typed in arpeggiator, and it was one of the stock ones that I loved it, and it adds a really nice feel to it. But this is the 16th note one. So I can bring the filter down and kind of like dynamically and I do have shimmer on it. That I don't really do this a lot, but if there's like a part that's going nuts, I can kind of bring this in and almost make it like a pad. Again, I don't really do that, but I have it there just in case if I want to just mess with some dynamic. I have an extra knob. I was like, might as well throw something on it. And then when we move over to our leads, so lead lines, right now I'm using a basic Dulcimer. Again, this was another free patch from Spitfire Audio. It's fantastic, and this is kind of like, I'll use that. Think like Awake My Soul. Right now I have it up the octave for like some upbeat stuff. So like I Thank God. So just kind of layer it on top of just other sounds, and it just kind of helps give it that lift and just something extra in the mix than your just basic keys. The other one that I use right now that I'm loving is Prophet, and that's from Omnisphere. I'll use that. Recently, one of the songs we've been doing a ton is Josh Baldwin's Crowns Down, and it's just a really nice, I don't have it on the lower octave, as you can see here. I'm playing, nothing's happening, but it comes in on that upper register. I absolutely love it. I also have a filter on that where I can keep it kind of low. So like as, you know, that song Crowns Down starts, you know, you can kind of just kind of that extra layer on top. But then as the song, you know, kind of builds, you get to that first chorus, you can kind of open it up. So that's kind of what I use with that. I absolutely love it. I know with like the lead stuff, I used to have bells, and you know, I'll bring things in and out depending on the set. But those are the two main ones that I keep in there all the time. And then I'll kind of, depending on the set or wherever we're going, if it needs something else, I'll throw another lead line in there or another sample. But I just don't like to take too much CPU on my computer usage up. So anyways, that's my keys rig right now. I'll kind of just play a little bit all together with the click. The click was going. So here we go. I'll just take like the Crowns Down or something like that. Just kind of something to keep it easy. So this is with everything in. There's the drone tool. Bring filter up. I'm used to this being on the other side where I can mess with it when I'm playing, but I'll bring the filter up here real quick and go to the bridge where it's all in your face. So here we go. Let me throw the arpeggiator in here real quick so you can kind of hear what that sounds like. I'll go back to the chorus of Crowns Down, just kind of show you that. I'll throw that extra like octave piano in there. So just all kinds of stuff that you can do with this. I've been loving just diving into it and just seeing what I can come up with. But I love being a dynamic player and just adding as much as I can and just filling in that dead space. So that's kind of my keys rig right now. I'm really happy with it. I've been loving it, and I'll keep messing with it. So in the next 3 months, it'll probably look completely different, minus my main keys, because I absolutely love them. But thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But yeah, thanks for listening.